Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode of Coaching Conversations. And I wanted to make you aware of something very cool that we're doing on a subscription basis, and we'll put a link in each one of our episodes. But every Wednesday, we're going to be doing what we call an audio podcast workshop. That workshop will be roughly about 14 to maybe 20 minutes per episode, with each month having a theme from a coaching model, using feedback strategically, to coaching self-awareness, and so on. So if you could look in the body or in the content description of each episode, and you will see a link where you can join this subscription. These are literally 4 workshops every month teaching specific strategies to address a particular area of workplace coaching as it relates, again, to things like awareness, motivation, teamwork, and what have you. Here's the cool thing. It's only $10 per month, and each month you will get a handout that we will follow along with. So we also give you a tool for you to take notes as we go through each episode. We hope you'll check it out.
The number one thing we need to do when we're coaching is to build awareness. And one of the best ways to do that is to use a rating question. Now, rating questions can be a little bit tricky, so let me give you a couple rules. First of all, use an even number. So, Bob, on a scale of 1 to 6, here's why. 1 to 6, there's no middle number. When you do 1 to 10 or 1 to 5, guess where they go? 3 or 5. Because they want to be right in the middle. The middle feels safe to people. So when you use an even number, they still try to go in the middle. They still say things like, well, about a 3 or 4. I'm about 3.5. It's so funny. Now, there's a 2-step process with rating questions. One, you ask the question. So, Bob, on a scale of 1 to 6, now this is where you give the bookends some meat, some substance. Don't just leave it arbitrary. What I mean by that is, so, Bob, on a scale of 1 to 6, 6 pretty good, 1 not so good, how would you rate your interaction with your teammates? You want to give it some expectations in the ratings. Let me give you an example. So, Bob, on a scale of 1 to 6, with 6 being you are consistent, you are flawless, you are unbelievably professional in every interaction you have with your teammates in terms of communication, and maybe 1, you're a little bit choppy and you have a really good opportunity to improve. You give both bookends substance. When you give it substance, I always get the question, what if they answer 6 and you know that they're a 2? They never do, because if you give it substance and don't leave it to chance, so that higher number is flawless, consistent, without exception, that type of phrase, that's a tough thing to really say, yeah, I'm a 6. I've never had anyone say 6. They typically will say things like, well, yeah, I'm maybe about a 2 or a 3. Now, let's say somebody says, well, I'm about a 3 or 4, and I think Bob's a 1 or 2 at best. That's a critical point, because if you react with, oh, come on, Bob, a 3 or a 4, you just left the world of coaching, and you left the world of coaching to enter the world of an argument. You're not there to build an argument. You're there to build awareness. Now, I might say, if Bob says, well, I'm about a 3 or 4, and I might think, I had you at about a 2. I might respond and say, I kind of had you in the same area. Here's the big step. So once we ask our 1 to 6 question, the response is critical because it's a very momentum moving forward type of response. So, Bob, what do we need to do to move in a direction of a 6? And what's the first action you would suggest we take together? Notice I stressed the word we. Here's why. Someone will improve. Someone will go up the hill called Change Hill. Someone will move in the direction of personal improvement as long as somebody goes with them. So when you ask your rating question 1 to 6, give the bookends, give it some substance, give it some description. Flawless, without exception, always consistent. That's a mouthful. And then they will typically go somewhere between 1 and 6. And the response is what's critical. What do we need to do together to move in a direction of a 6? And what's the first step you suggest we take? Now you've gained momentum by using a rating question, not only to build awareness, but to also gain momentum to move in the right direction. Good luck.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagen and Progress Coaching.
Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21 day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.